Alright guys, it is Ben from the Reading Review. We are back here with another video with Josh, and today the Reading Reviews Manchester City and their ban with UEFA. So, first of all, Josh, we know Man City have been banned for 2 years to start with, and Man City have said, and it's obvious they were going to say it to start with, that they're going to appeal this decision. What do you make of the whole situation between Manchester City and UEFA as a whole?
It's a bit of a mess at the minute because no one really knows what's going on. But I think it was coming basically because they've spent so much money and everyone was wondering how they've managed to do it, and they've been sort of like bending the rules, and then it's finally happened.
Yeah, I mean, well, if we think about it this way, that a lot of the investment came in a year before financial fair play was introduced. So maybe there's some inkling that Manchester City knew that something like this was going to come in, because 2011, Robinho came in, all of these stars came in and really set a tone for the rest of Europe, and made them sit up and think about it, really, like what's going on at Manchester City. Europe's elite is almost a bit wary of them.
Yeah, 100%. It's mad. They kept on not breaking their transfer record that year, and just bringing in loads of different players. Yeah.
So my next question to you is: we know it's going to the court of arbitration of sport.
Yeah.
And we know that it's being appealed. Who's going to win this court battle, UEFA or Manchester City?
Man City, I think, will still. I don't think they're actually going to get a ban, and if they do, it'll be reduced.
Yeah.
Just because it's just what always happens with every single ban ever.
Yeah, I think that I'm really sure of it in myself. I think that Manchester City will be playing in the Champions League next season.
Yeah.
And the reason I think this is going to happen is because the appeal process is going to take so long. It's going to take till the start of next season at least. Am I right?
Yeah.
I think, Man City said that if UEFA ever came for them, 50 of the best lawyers would be hired. So it will be the start of next season where they'll be playing in the Champions League. And sorry, Sheffield United fans, but I don't think you're going to be playing Champions League next season. I don't think that 5th spot is as coveted as everyone's hyping it up to be.
That's where Chelsea are going to finish anyway. So.
Oh, wow. who's finishing in that 4th spot then?
Tottenham probably.
Tottenham. You're backing your own club to finish 6th then, yeah?
7th probably.
So we're both agreeing that City are looking to be in that stronger position, considering the shambles that UEFA have been in these past few years. And I know it's something that we can't really consider, but we have to in a situation. What if City lose this court battle against UEFA? We know it might go to the European Commission, the Swiss courts, and that sort of thing. But if Manchester City lose, what happens to them?
I think it'd be something similar to what's happened with Portsmouth and teams like that have gone down.
Really, you're going as far as to say it could be a Portsmouth situation where
it literally all depends on who they keep and whether the owners still want to back the club in terms of the that's like 4 years.
Yeah,
and that's
it's been said around in a lot of news outlets that Manchester City could get relegated to League Two. I think it's a bit of it's clickbait realistically. At the end of the day, it's clickbait. So I don't see him getting relegated necessarily. I see him getting potentially point deduction, but it's something you can't really predict how they're going to react, because if they lose, could they set a precedent for all these other European clubs to sit up and say, "Oh, wow, what's going on?"
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it'd be really interesting to see what would happen if they went to League Two, and just because obviously Sterling and Guardiola have said, we'd stay, but I feel like they're only saying that because they know that they're not going to go there.
There's a few players in that squad which you can see staying, like the players that are getting on a bit, don't really have much time in their contract left. But in another way, if you're a big club, you've been the same monotonous sort of finishing top half of the Premier League.
Top 2.
Yeah, top 2. Do you think it could create, I know it sounds weird, but a bit of excitement in that for the younger fans maybe of Manchester City to be able to maybe tick off a lot of grounds that they've never been to before.
Yeah, true, and just actually create like a fan base.
Yeah.
I feel like they don't have a fan base.
Yeah, they haven't really, like their younger fans haven't really seen the tough times that Man City have been through, and a lot of them fans are glory hunters. Let's face it. Like
Yeah.
they love Aguero.
It's the new Man United, really, of like.
Yeah, it's the new
Of
era,
our age,
the new era of football fans, because you had from that period from like 2000, 2010, it was all like United fans everywhere you go.
Yeah.
So maybe it could bring up that core fan base of what all the other top 6 clubs boast,
Yeah.
and if they manage to rise through each season, it could even be beneficial for the club
Yeah.
to have that sort of thing happen to them.
In a weird way, yeah.
And it's another sticky one with UEFA as well, because in this whole situation they can't look good in this. Surely they can't. But if they lose, will more clubs take advantage of them being in such a state where they sanction a club with whatever to do with financial fair play, and then they can't follow through with it? Do you think more clubs are going to take advantage of that if they lose?
I still feel teams already take like the mick out of it, so to speak. Like, especially with like transfers outside, like there's like loads of transfers that happen like outside the window and stuff like that. I know that's not directly with UEFA, but like there's a lot of stuff that goes on.
Yeah, you've just seen recently Barcelona have
like that.
asked to make a special transfer to get in. I think it's Martin Braithwaite in from Toulouse, which
And they had like permission to go get that Willian Jose from Sociedad.
yeah, it's
And like that's like if like just because they've got an injury, that's and if like I don't know.
well, it's like Spurs if they Son and Kane are injured. Oh, let's just get another striker.
Yeah,
It
like, doesn't happen.
doesn't make sense to me, and it does go to show that UEFA have some really deep-rooted problems in their organisation.
Bendy.
And I think through this court process, those deep-rooted problems will probably get exposed, and it will probably send UEFA into a really dark spot like they were a few years ago with all the corruption scandals. So who knows what's going to happen with UEFA if they lose, really.
Yeah, it won't look good, that's for sure.
So that was mine and Josh's thoughts on Manchester City and their big scandal with UEFA and financial fair play, and what we thought is going to happen as a result to it. Thank you for Josh for coming on again. He's an absolute hero. I'll leave his Twitter in the description below. And as always, please comment what you think about Manchester City and financial fair play. Please subscribe, and I'll see you later.